Hello, everyone. Welcome to the 36 Chambers of Crypto Taxes broadcast series. My name is Jamal Solomon, aka Crypto J, and this series is all about protecting your assets. You best protect your assets, and the way I'm going to let you know is how to protect it in regarding to taxes. I'm an enrolled agent, which basically means I can represent anybody in any state department in the United States of America, whether it's the IRS, Wyoming, New York, Texas, California, whatever hell state tax department you have issues with. And I had represented over 200 different clients in regarding tax situations. So I have a lot of wealth of informations and situations. And this is using my experience to teach y'all how to protect yourself regarding these tax departments. Now, always remember, listen, I don't try to talk down on anybody. I don't try to talk down on clients, the IRS, or anyone. This is strictly to educate you and empower you. So never feel like Jamal is trying to talk down on you, no matter how crazy it may seem. All right, so in this situation, and we're going to learn from my past situations, I actually represented, we're going to protect the identity person that was a religious organization leader, which was very interesting because if anybody attend any churches or religious, these leaders have interesting personalities. Let's just leave it like that. Very strong, interesting personalities. And what was even more crazy was that personally, I had some issues. I went to Catholic school all my life, and both Catholic schools, the leaders got caught stealing money, like legit stealing. It's not like I'm just trying to say, oh, Roma is. Nah, they was in the newspaper. They was in the news. It was just ridiculous. And this happened to me way before I went to college, way before I became a tax accountant. So I always got that little thing behind my mind, say, oh, do we trust these guys? But I think for the most part, they're great people. But hey, it's up to them and God. So in this situation, the issue was that the religious leader actually took contributions and deposited into his personal account. And his whole thing was that he they written it in his personal name, and what he did was immediately transfer it to the organization, which was, I believe, they had a school or something like that. Now, let's just say I don't know who the hell is telling the truth. That was not what I'm getting paid for, and that's between him and God. But here's the learning lesson, guys. Whether you own or whether you operate a religious operation, a nonprofit organization, whether you own a cryptocurrency company or a small business company, the last thing you want to do is deposit money into your personal account because in the audit, that's going to look very, very bad and it's going to be used against you. So, what you want to do is one of the most important things that you want to do if people want to contribute to your cause, make sure it's going to a separate business account, whether it's a nonprofit account, whether it's a small business account, corporate account, as long as it's not your freaking personal account. And yes, I know sometimes people say, oh, I didn't know, nobody taught me how to separate business and stuff like that. But that should be one of the first things when you organize organization that you do. You should automatically, when you get that EIN number, which is an employee identification number for people that don't know. It's basically the social security number for your business or your organization. Set up a business account, right? Because sometimes, when you do these grassroots operations, people say, "Hey, I love Jamal. I know Jamal has his organization. I'm just gonna write the check out to Jamal Solomon, and I trust he's gonna do the right thing with the money." Yeah. Jamal might do the right thing with the money, or Jamal might not do the right thing with the money. Not saying that if they donate to your organization instead of your personal name, that's going to protect the money from being misused. But what I'm saying in a tax audit, if the IRS is saying, hey, these people paid you money, and you're trying to say no, I didn't receive the money. I used it. I got the money, and then I'll automatically transfer it. It's not going to look good in the audit. And also, what they're going to do, they're going to look into your lifestyle, right? So if you're saying that you have a volunteer organization and, you know, you just all the money that you receive go directly to the organization, but you have $1 million house, you got cars, you got all this. Let me tell you something. The excuse of that your kids or your family member helps pay for this stuff, it's not gonna work. It's not gonna work unless there's guaranteed proof. Let's say you have 10 kids and every month your 10 kids deposit money into your bank account and you can see it. It's not cash, it's like straight checks. Okay, that will, satisfy the audit, but if you can't prove that, your family members or friends were helping you pay for all these expenses, it's not gonna work. And that was the tough thing. So the person that was represented said that he was able to pay for his lifestyle because he had a lot of children. His children helped pay for it. Up to him and God. That's all I gotta say. However, due to the audit, there was no way to prove it because, like I said, it wasn't like the kids were dropping checks or anything like that. So it was that he saw these deposits from these people that supposedly was paying it for the organization, and it wasn't. And what happened was, unfortunately, this person did owe a lot of money, over 100K, prior to me representing him. Let's keep that a key word. He did serve some time because he said, he's not he's not going to say that he did anything wrong. So he just decided to do a little time. And religious leaders, they ain't going to get a lot of time. So it was a little time, but it's time. Time is time. But all this could have been avoided if A, he did the right thing, B, the tax accountant told him, hey, separate everything. Because you never want to get into an audit situation and this happens, guys. So let this be a learning lesson. All right. Do not commingle funds, and the audit is not going to work in your favor. I swear to God on everything, it won't work in your favor. And next thing you know, will owe a six-figure um, debt to the government, which is never a nice thing, guys. All right. And the last thing is, since this person did have a very strong personality, the person didn't like to hear no, did not like to hear that he was wrong, did not like to hear none of that stuff because, hey, he's anointed by God. Okay, he's anointed by God. So what made that difficult was even though I was representing him, he wasn't really listening. He was talking to the IRS behind my back and trying to resolve it behind my back and all the stuff that you should not do when you hire a representative, whether it's a lawyer, an enrolled agent, and the case was a horror show and it didn't get resolved. It could have definitely been resolved if the person would have just trust professionals like myself to do their job and not say that God is going to do it for them. Because sometimes that's not enough when you dealing with the IRS. So if you ever in this situation, guys, whether you're in the right or the wrong, the beautiful thing about taxes is that there's always a resolution to your problem. You just got to recognize when, hey, you got to meet them halfway. You got to recognize when you either did something wrong or incorrect and know that when you owe people money, they're going to want it. All right. And you also got to trust the people that are trained and hired to represent you because they could get you out in a lot of trouble. So, guys, listen, protect your assets, make it happen. And the whole intention of this is not to talk bad about the people in the situation, whether it's my client, myself, or the IRS. It's all about you learning from it. All right, guys, stay tuned to more stories about how to protect your assets when it comes to taxes. Peace.